Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Something Super Spiritual with Cynthia Fontaine. 2 times in 2 weeks. How cool is this?
Oh my God. Hello, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. I think it's cool because I love spending time with you and your audience.
Thank you. I do too. And last week just went so fast, and we didn't get a chance to do any readings and really talk to anybody out there.
We didn't.
Sue, hi Sue. Okay, so Sue says you did it. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Yes, Kevin and I did a test on Instagram the other day, so I think I finally have it figured out.
Awesome. All the technology, when you're trying to figure it out all yourself, it can be complicated.
It takes a minute.
It does take a minute. And then with the social media stuff that yesterday with Facebook and Instagram, today LinkedIn went down.
Oh, I didn't know that Facebook and Instagram went down.
They both did yesterday, apparently for quite some time. So, we have to figure our stuff out ourselves. And then there's technological things that happen that have nothing to do with us. But
always, yes.
Interesting with tech.
You guys, welcome back. Hi, Keith. Hi, Susan. Hi, Susan Brochin, lady friend. Hi, Alicia. V Pedal. So good to see you guys again. So this week, as I said in the little announcement, since we didn't get a chance to do readings last week, we're going to do that this week. So please go ahead and type in your questions on the in the chat, and we'll get to them. It's really interesting. We chose a card, each of us, prior to getting on here. To kind of see what spirit, what the message was for us in going live here. And it's really interesting how spirit works, because the card that I got the trust card. I got this card twice, 2 times. It fell out once, and then I thought, and I had just picked the deck up. I hadn't even started shuffling, and I thought, no, I'll try this again. And that was it. And I'm like, okay, well. And then Cynthia, you get the card about walking through the desert and
going the distance
and
trusting. Trusting. And it's interesting because this card was in reverse. We're using Colette's cards, we call it in protection, and the protection is just sort of like an extra hug, and this is really to say, hey, because we didn't really have a plan today. And this card says exactly that. Oh, you don't have a plan, but that's okay. Just trust, follow your guidance, and it'll all work out well. So it was so interesting that we had 2 completely different decks, and basically they both said the exact same thing.
And that's hard sometimes. That is really, really hard. And in my early days, when I wasn't quite sure what spirit was really all about, I didn't quite understand the clairs. I had experienced all of these really like incredible synchronicities that I just couldn't turn blind eye to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple decks of cards at the time, and I would pull these cards, and it would say trust, or it would say patience, or another one of my favorites was you know what to do, and it's those answers when I like in those early days, I'd roll my eyes like, really?
Yeah.
I know what to do. If I knew what to do, I wouldn't be asking.
Right.
Here's the thing. We do know. On some level, on our insides, we do know.
Exactly.
And it takes a minute to realize that. We just have to calm ourselves, put ourselves in timeout for a minute and quiet our minds. Yeah. What do you think about that, Cynthia?
Oh, I agree 100%. And when we come to center and listen to our intuition, then, and we all have it, everyone has it, when you bring yourself to center and listen and say, okay, if I did know, what would it be? Because we do know. And when you just phrase the question or rephrase it that way, well, if I did know, what might that look like, or what would it be? And a thought will often pop into your head, and then explore that thought, see how, where that leads you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember the early days in that too, where you did explore the thought or the flash. Maybe it was a vision, or maybe it was a word, or whatever it might have been, a feeling. Um,
Yeah.
and I was really confused at first because I was so um I was so shook up on whether or not I was making it up, like if it came from me, if it came from spirit. I
Sure.
was I was so shook up with that. And one day, within like, I don't know, within like maybe 6 months of really starting to explore all this, I
Hmm.
had a lady tell me, she said, you know what? Just allow yourself to make pretend. Just pretend that it's pretend and allow your inner child to just go bananas and have a blast. And I was like, okay, that's all it took. That is all it took. I literally had to give myself permission.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because over the years I've actually written permission slips for clients, because sometimes we get so caught up in our expectations, or the way we think things should come through or should be, or on the topic of not knowing, the cards kept saying, right, but you're going, but I don't know. Well, we do know, right? And so when you take that time, you let your wild child out, you go explore and have fun. Guess what that does? It opens the channels so that energy can flow through, so that the information can come in. When people are blocked, that's the best advice. Go out and play, have some fun, because when we're
Oh,
too serious, it's like you walk around and, you try to put on jeans that are 2 sizes too tight,
oh,
right? It's uncomfortable.
totally, totally. Well, and here's the thing, and more often than not, we're asking these questions in a state of anxiety or fear, or
Yes.
that, so with two sizes too small.
Yes, yes, 100%. And of
Yeah.
course, the cards are going to reflect that energy. So when you take a minute and just take a step away, get a breath, the information will come in. I'm Yeah,
Completely.
yeah. And I'm looking at Alicia's message there. 2 days before my divorce, mediation was having little panic attacks after a long day of adventures. So I would appreciate anything positive to calm down. Meanwhile, please. So we'll address that for sure. But that just caught my eye, because as you were, saying about, you were asking for guidance and didn't know what to do,
Mhm.
that caught my eye, because when I was thinking about getting divorced, it's a big decision. I didn't know which way to go. So I went to my grandparents' old house, which was vacant. The house had just been sitting there. And there was this huge rock in my grandfather's backyard, which had been perfectly manicured. Now it was all tall. The grass was all tall. Thanks, Alexa. I always say, when there's a ring, a ding, a voice, or whatever, it's an exclamation from spirit that this is important. So I hope this helps somebody out there. So there was this big rock in the middle of what would have been my grandfather's lawn. And I said, how did that rock get there? That rock was never there before. So I had the idea to sit on the rock. So I go and I sit on the rock, and I'm sitting there and I'm crying, and I don't know what to do. And blah, blah, blah. Well, I suddenly had an idea that I was going to take this rock home with me, because I don't know how it got in the middle of my grandfather's lawn. I never saw it before. I grew up there as a kid. I lived there later on as an adult. And so I'm rolling this rock to the car, and I'm looking at the size of it, and I'm looking at the wet, the door, to see if it's wide, big enough to get it in. And logistically, the rock should have fit in the car. But no matter what I tried, I could not get that rock in the car. And then the clarity came. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try to make things fit or work. It just doesn't. So even though I didn't know what decision to make, I went and I sat. Now, in that time, I didn't go and blow bubbles and let my little child play or whatever. But sometimes when we just sit, whether it's in quiet or if it's going and letting your little child have a great time, go blow bubbles, play in the ocean, build dig in the dirt, whatever, color, paint, do whatever. It's enough space for us to get clarity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's enough space for us to get clarity. And the second part of the story with the rock is, a while later, one of my friends who I worked with was going through a difficult time and was having a hard time making some decisions, important decisions in his life. And I said, go sit on my rock. Here's the address. He went and sat on the rock. And when I got home from work that day, the rock was in my front yard. He got his answer and I got my rock. And it's traveled with me everywhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah, everywhere since. That rock has been with me since 1989.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. More often than not, we're not meant to know the how.
Right.
And again, that's where the trust comes in.
Yes.
But Alicia, I really want to, first of all, I know exactly what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to encourage you, when you get to that place of anxiety and in that fear mode, and you're up against these bullies and they're coming at you, and that's what's happening. I want to remind you that right now the universe is clearing out of your life that which no longer serves you. And I want you to remember how amazing this is. That you've been held back, you've been held down, you've been more than likely abused and treated poorly and not honored, not respected, and no more. You prayed for this in the past. The universe is bringing this to fruition for you, and they're going to fight you. So you know what? Let those bullies scream. They're going to, regardless. And I want you to know that this is all happening for you. This is all in divine timing. You are leveling up while this is all happening. So I really want to encourage you to focus on that. You're almost out of it, my dear. You are almost out of it. And when this is out and your waters are calm and you're recognizing this smooth pace, the harmony is going to start ringing in your ears, and you'll recognize how great you feel. And it's awesome. And this card that I got for you also has to talk about the support. You've got huge support. Not only the support of the people around you, surrounding you here in person, but your people in spirit. This is all part of your path, your plan, your journey. This is all meant for you to learn and grow and strengthen from, and recognize your own sovereignty in this. You are stepping into your own power again. And it feels like it totally sucks right now. It does. I know. But trust me. What do you think, Cynthia?
I think that my cards reflect just what you said. The when you expressed about let the bullies be the bullies, well, I have the yin card as the first card, and that's about let things happen the way they're going to happen, right? What's kind of watch the show. Doing that, it's gonna be peaceful, right? And so it was interesting because I also pulled a card to what can she expect, and it's time to go in protection, which is about not having a roadmap, right? that this particular journey might be coming to an end,
Mhm.
but your journey is not coming to an end, and you don't have the map for the journey that you're just beginning. And so this is when you really have to trust in spirit. And so ways that you can calm down are go outside. And even if you live in a city, go find a tree, touch a tree, take your shoes off if you're in a place where you can do that. I even take my shoes off in the winter. The ground can be frozen. I don't care. And just take three breaths in is all you need to calm down. Because when you are having a panic attack, you're in your head. And this is for everybody. When we're in panic mode, it's because our mind is running the show. And our mind is actually the only organ in the body that does not have its own intuitive center built in. And yet we let it run the show. So when you drop into your heart, taking the breaths, what that does is it drops you into your heart. And then you can immediately start to calm down once you come into your heart space, and you can gain clarity there as well, right? So just doing those taking some deep breaths, feeling your feet on the ground, coming down into your heart, and knowing that even though you don't have a roadmap for this, your soul does, and your soul knows exactly where you need to go. So trust that it's going to reveal the path to you as you come along. And I say this from a place of experience. When I got divorced, it took 22 months to get divorced. Every single week for 22 months being in the courthouse, every single week. And it was not a pleasant experience. And so I had to learn techniques to help myself calm down. And so those are some things. Another thing, you could take a salt bath. That can be really helpful. Grab a faucet if you aren't in a place or can't take a bath. Turn the water on. Rinse your arms up to your elbows under the water, and then hold the faucet for a minute. That'll ground you really, really quickly.
Oh, I love that.
Help you calm down. Yeah. Super easy to do.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
good.
You can do that anywhere, right?
Mhm.
You're in the lawyer's office, you're in the courtroom, whatever, go in the bathroom, run your arms up to your elbows under the water, and then hold the faucet for, 10, 20, 30 seconds, whatever. And that's going to help to ground you right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alicia, you have a lot of prayers and a lot of love coming at you from this neck of the woods. And just know, I mean, really, it's almost over. It's almost over.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you hearing a timeline?
Well, she said her divorce mediation is 2 days from now. So I think it must be Friday.
Oh, timeline. Yeah. 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 I'm not so sure it's going to be settled on Friday, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't, just focus on the power that is completely removing all that which is no longer serving you.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And know that spirit is going to open new doors for you. I say that my divorce was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. Yeah. But now it's all over with, going on almost 5 years. Yes, it is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, totally. I like Keith said he likes listening to crystal bowls, and that's helping. That's another great tip.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's another great tip. I like how you can highlight the chat. That's really cool.
Yeah. Next time I'll make you a guest host so you can click on them too.
Oh, I don't know if you want to go that crazy.
Susan.
I'm teasing.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, Susan. So much love to you, Susan.
Hypnicity asks, she would love any messages from spirit.
All right, let's see. Do you want to go first?
You can go first. You're the guest. You're the guest of honor.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I'm wondering if Hypnicity has any children. It could be children of her own, or smaller children around her, because I'm picking up at least one kid around her. So Hypnicity, if you can drop that in the chat, that would be great. I do feel like that this is a child in on the planet, not a child in spirit form, if that helps at all. So she doesn't have her own children. It'll be like somebody that she, I don't know, babysits or something like that. Anyway, so around that, or there's some worry about motherhood. Let me just pull a card on this. This is interesting because it's all about kids with her for me. I don't know. Is she still here?
Yeah, she said she does not have any kids. I do not have any kids.
Okay, interesting. So I feel Hypnicity, are you hoping to have kids? Youngest in the generation. Okay. So I'm just looking to see if she posts here. So the card I got is flexible in protection. And what this is that you really need to work on your flexibility muscle, right? To again, allow spirit to bring things through as they're meant to come through. Be flexible. No baby in the family. Okay. So, so it's interesting because I see all these kids around you. It could be your siblings, but I feel like that spirit wants you to know that you have children in your chart. May just be one. I don't know what your plan is, because just because something's on our chart doesn't mean that we have to follow through with it. But I do see a child that comes to you that is going to be yours, that you have a soul contract with. Now, I don't know how old you are. I feel like you're maybe in your 20s. Been on a Lauren Doc night of the soul. Okay. So really be flexible with everything in your life right now. It's not about being so rigid, and let spirit speak to you. I feel like 63. Oh, that's so interesting. So I want to go back to when you're in your 20s then. And was there a possibility at some point that you might have been expecting? That's a question mark. This, oh my, we could go down a big long road with this. Because it's I see kids around her. I don't know if you're picking up any kids. No. Okay.
I'm not. Nope.
Yeah. And maybe she's a school teacher. That would be interesting to say. But let me just ask my guides. I work with a team of 44 guides. Let me ask them for some clarity around this, the kids around you. Kid-like spirit. And oh, you've really lost your sort of zhuzh for life, and your childlike spirit. Had 2 pregnancies. Thank you. Because when they're talking about these pregnancies, these kids that are yours. So kids claim us even when they're on the other side. Doesn't matter if they were birthed into life or how long their life was once they were birthed, they still claim us. Doesn't matter how or why they exited. I have these kids around you who say that it's a soul contract, that they're with you, and they're encouraging you to play, get out and play, have some fun, be flexible, don't be so rigid. I wonder if maybe she's a Virgo or has some Virgo in her chart. I do feel like that they're showing me that the sun is coming up over the horizon. So even though the sun has been below the horizon and it's been dark for you, the sun is starting to come up over the horizon, and things are going to come. They're going to come better for you, but you've got to take a breath. You've got to be more flexible. You have to trust. I feel like Virgo rising. There you go. I knew it. So you've got to trust and let spirit guide you and have fun. Those little kids of yours who are still claiming you on the other side are totally saying, have some fun, have some fun, have some fun.
Yeah. So Hypnicity, I was feeling one of the first things that I just glimpsed at with you was I saw a rainbow all around you, and the rainbow for me has come to be this metaphor, and if it's not a metaphor, this Reiki. It's about Reiki. It's about healing. It's about really connecting with that aspect within us that is in that leveling up state where it feels to me like you're in this growth, this state of growth where like you like remember the growing pains that we had when we were kids. I remember my arms and my legs hurting, and my mom would give me a children's aspirin or whatever. But that's what it feels like to me. And similarly to Alicia, it's like the universe is clearing out that which no longer serves you. And it brings to the surface all this stuff from the past that needs to be, reviewed and looked at and either let go or forgiven, healed, taken a good look at. So I really want to encourage you to, although let's be honest, dark nights, ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, ouch.
Yeah.
Breathe and trust.
Yeah.
If you are not attuned to Reiki, she says, I'm an energy healer. There you go. Okay. So even those of us attuned to an energy modality, it doesn't necessarily mean that these periods are really that much easier. We just have a little bit bigger of a tool bag. So I just want to remind you to go to that tool bag and really send that love to all that which is bubbling up, all that which is triggering you and pinging you from the past hurts, the past traumas, the past wounds. Because this next phase, it feels to me like you're really lightening the load. It like there's a almost like what am I trying to say? Like a metal armor that you've been wearing for so long, and it feels like that's chipping away. And sorry guys, I'm trying to follow up. She ate a whole bottle of baby aspirin when she was a toddler. Oh
Wow. Exit points.
Yeah, total exit points. You know what? She ate a bottle of aspirin. I ate a bottle of Flintstones vitamins.
Oh my God, I used to love Flintstones vitamins, and I love the taste of baby aspirin too.
Yes. So hypnicity, yes, you are still healing. We are always healing. We are always expanding and growing and evolving, spiritually developing, emotionally, mentally developing, always leveling up. It's why we're here. It's why we're here. It's why we chose what we chose in this lifetime. And we're really being here, a member of this community and Kevin's community and Cynthia's community. And I mean, there are so many communities, Linda G and Kim and Debbie Hedberg. I mean, there's just so many. Being a part of these communities is testament that you are waking up, woken up, healing, conscious, and it doesn't end. It doesn't just stop one day. It's like, whoo, I'm good. Right. I wish it were that easy sometimes.
Oh God. Yeah. And when we're healers, this is my theory from my own life experience, and maybe it's similar for you too, Jeffrey. I've had a crazy life. We talked a little bit about it last week, but just barely scratched the surface. And for many, many years, I didn't understand why I was experienced so many traumatic and dramatic things in my lifetime. And I came to understand when I fully dove into this work that every experience that I've had that I've overcome was one more gift now that I had the bandwidth to help other people with. And I've had some big dark nights of the soul, like probably most of us have. And so even though things might seem hard right now, start to ask yourself, what could the silver lining be from this time? Where is the gift in this? And when you start to look for the gift, Spirit will give you clues to what this is helping you with. And, just a reminder for people who are energy workers out there. So I'm a double Reiki master and a full spectrum healer. I went to intensive 3-year healer school, and I've got all kinds of training. We have to remember that just because we do healing work ourselves, we also need to take care of ourselves, and we need to get healing work done for ourselves. You need to, go get the Reiki, go get the massage, talk to a spiritual guide. Sometimes, a therapist is what you need. So, I really encourage anybody who is, whether you're struggling or not, remember self-care, self-care, self-care.
Amen. Hypnicity says, thanks so much. Waking up was hard to do. Yeah. Waiting for the family. Oh, yeah. Totally.
You know what? The family may never follow. So
totally.
don't wait for them.
Can you see that hypnicity? It's kind of fuzzy. I don't know when it will clear up, but it's spiritual growth. That's what we talked about. This is your growth. This is your evolution. And it won't last. It won't last long. So, it feels long, but it won't last long.
Do you see? She said she survived cocaine addiction, brain aneurysm, and colorectal cancer. So hypnicity, guess what? You are the perfect person on the planet to help people who have had those same issues. So now think about that and start working on that. How are you going to help people who have gone or are going through the same things or have gone through?
It's so true. And I often talk about, for those that have been with me for a while, have heard me talk about how we each hold a different piece of the manual. And it's like, listen, Cynthia, you might not be able to help hypnicity with whatever, but hey, I was there. I have a part of the manual. I can help you through this. Like hypnicity can go with, hey, I know what it's like to have cancer, especially colorectal. That totally sucks. Let me tell you what worked for me. Is we got the different parts of the manual, and we know what works. We know what doesn't work, and all together, we're so much better together. So this is how we we've read and heard so many times. We're all here just walking each other home.
Absolutely. 100%. And, the more that we lean into people who we resonate with, the stronger we become as a society. Right. And we don't have to all believe the same things, but when you respect when we respect each other, when we say, hey, I might have a piece of the puzzle that can help you, because really gratitude and giving is the magic. It's the magic in the world, because we can't survive on this planet alone.
We're not meant to.
We're not meant to.
Absolutely. We're not meant to be alone.
No, we are not. We're not. And it's only like the last 70, 80 years where people actually live in houses separately from their families, where for thousands of years, families lived together under one roof. And, extended families, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, that sort of thing. And it's only the last 70 or so years where we've gone off and everybody has their own little house and does their own little thing. And we're meant to be connected. We're meant to connect with people, but people who we resonate with, and our families, that Jeffrey, that we don't wait for your families to wake up, because they might not ever see the light, and it's not our business whether they do or not. We just have to keep doing what we do best in the world, and whoever is meant to follow or see the light, or we're meant to help or touch, we will. And oftentimes it's unfortunately not our families.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Truth. The black sheep. That's why they call us the black sheep.
Yes. 1,000%.
Susan Brochin asked, I would love to know what my pilgrimage to Egypt will be like next month.
Ooh, next month.
Ooh.
I'm hearing glorious.
You know what? Here's the thing. I know, obviously I know you, Susan. I feel like, yes, it's going to be another one of your life-changing experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that there is a little bit of a caveat to that. Where hold on. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a difficulty for you, like in your maybe your expectations or maybe expectations with people that you're with, or I'm not quite sure how to word it, but I feel like that there's something that you are going to like literally have to talk yourself into getting over, moving through, seeing with a higher perspective, spiritual eyes, spiritual perception. And then once you've moved through that, then it feels like it just like opens up, like whew, it feels truly amazing. But I feel this like a hump to move over first. So I hope that makes sense. What do you think, Cynthia?
100%, because I pulled a card for Susan, and this is from the Colette Baron Reed's Dreamweaver Oracle. I love the art on this deck. And it's about being flexible. It's all the threads of fate must bend.
All the threads of fate must bend. Ooh.
Yeah. So how you were saying that, it might be the people in the group or whatever. If she remains flexible, then I feel like she'll flow through it. One thing, although that I'm hearing is something regarding your shoes. So I would take extra shoes, or make sure that the shoes that you're taking with you are good walking shoes, because I feel like that you're going to be doing a bit of walking. And she knows no one on the trip. Yeah, there you go. So remain flexible, get in your little bubble. I feel like that you'll find one or two people who you really can connect with. But my guides are saying shoes, 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 shoes. So be sure that your shoes are good and comfortable. And they're saying have an extra pair.
I was just going to say that. I was totally just going to say that.
High five. Yeah, take an extra pair of shoes with you.
Yeah. She says no clogs and no high heels. Right.
No,
going to Egypt.
Right.
High heels. That's laughable. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I saw the image of Sonia Choquette. If you ever read her story when she walked the Camino, was the shoes were such a big deal. And I got this flash of her talking about the shoes and the blisters on her feet. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Susan needs to make sure her shoes are good, and she takes extra ones. Yeah. So I don't know if you get pictures too, Jeffrey.
Do I get pictures? I get pictures. Yeah.
You get pictures. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
Kat's here. Hi, Kat.
God, it looks like there's lots of people here. Keith, V Pedal.
Oh, let me see. I thought there was a question over here at Instagram. Christina says, any wisdom for me? I wonder if I can put this over here.
Well, y'all have to figure that out. You're the tech wizard on that.
Yeah. So tap into Christina.
All right, Christina. So I feel like Christina has riches that she hasn't tapped into. And that when I ask for more information regarding what that could mean, I'm asking, is this because she has talents that she's not using? My guides are saying yes. When I ask, is this a bit of sort of a worthiness piece? My guides are saying yes. When I ask, I feel like she's very creative. I see fabric. I don't know why, but I'm seeing some fabric. So I wonder, if she does something with fabric, or if she has a talent for working with fabric. such as design or curtains, or I'm a sewer. It's one of my hobbies, and I make ball gowns and all sorts of crazy things in my free time. And so I wonder, because I feel like I have fabric in my hand. I want to touch fabric. I want to look at fabric. And so maybe that's an area for her to explore, is the textile world. And that might be something I feel like she can take. My guides are saying she can take something out of nothing and make things with it. I feel like she's very creatively talented, but she's not tapping into those talents, those reserves that are there. And if she starts to tap in and explore some of those things, I feel like that there are I'm hearing riches below the surface to unearth.
So on Instagram, she's responding to you. So I know, Christina, this is why I asked you to do this. Okay.
Okay.
So, Christina was answering you, saying my dream. So she does. She's very creative, and she's got design skills, and she's awesome. And darling, just so you know, I pulled a card for you too, Christina. The card coming up for you is answering the call, and the time is now. Which we know this. I walk with Christina almost daily with the dogs. And that card is really it makes sense. It makes
that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Yeah, it's you do you, right? And so if you whether it's design with clothing or whatever you do, get your ideas out there and don't worry about what other people think, because you've got a pool of riches just under the surface when you take the cap off and allow that creativity to flow. I see huge, you can have huge success.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, Christina. We're going to go to Susan next. She asked earlier, and it disappeared in the thread of comments. So Susan asks, can you tell me why my stepdaughter threatened me, please?
Okay. I don't know what the number 17 is, but I'm hearing and seeing the number 17. So if Susan can let me know if 17 means what that means to her. I don't know if her daughter is 17, or if maybe her daughter came into her. I feel like her daughter came into her life before she was 17 years old. I wonder if your stepdaughter suffers from some anxiety. I feel like I feel a lot of anxiety around her. And I also feel like that she could have some uncontrolled anger, which comes from interesting. Is it hereditary? Yes. So I would be surprised if there wasn't some background in her birth family where people have had hot tempers. Yes, a lot. Yeah. So I feel like that this carries through sort of the bloodline, and some of they're saying discrepancies from when she was younger. So I don't know how present her dad was in her life. I feel like that her birth mom may have been a little unstable. And that's where maybe some of this has come through. I feel like there's a lot of anger towards her dad coming from the birth mother. And it's really affected her in, it's sort of her training, because our training ground is the environment that we grow up in. And so this is not making any excuses for her. When I ask my guides, are the threats something that she could carry through on, that she would possibly actually, whatever these threats she's making, is it something that she would carry out? They do say that there's a good likely possibility that she would make good on the threats. So I would, really think about whatever it is that you need to be safe around this girl. Does not know the dad. Okay. So it really comes from her environment, I feel like, and her bloodline as well. And if there's any way that you can possibly get her into some counseling, into some therapy. I feel like that would really be help. That would help. And she needs a purpose. I feel like that she really doesn't. She doesn't feel like that. She's got really a purpose on the planet right now, and she's just so angry about everything. So, Jeffrey, you want to go?
Yeah, Susan, I was going to ask about the anger. I feel the anger. I feel almost trapped.
Yeah.
I feel trapped in like I feel like life is so unfair. I just feel this like I just and here's the thing too. When you were asking about anxiety, I think she was lighting up in the head for me, Susan, which I wanted to ask you too if you understood depression, anxiety, this kind of a mental health connection. And I saw which is my symbol for generational is the stair steps. So I think you asked that too, Cynthia. But it makes me feel like that there's a lot more in here than she can like consciously control, it seems like, um um and I do feel like there's an out for her. I feel like there's an out for her, but I don't feel like that there's this like
PTSD. Yeah.
there's a trapped unwed mom.
Yeah.
PTSD. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this, I don't know if you know, this is awfully personal. I hope it's okay that we're getting personal, Susan. But I feel like that there is this, like, I keep seeing a medicine bottle, okay? I keep seeing a medicine bottle and it's tipped over. And it's tipped over with a feeling of frustration and more anger, upsetness. But it just makes me wonder, like, if medication is not either balanced, if it's not correct, if it's not enough or the right thing. But I feel like there's an out for her. I just don't feel like she has access to it right yet, right now. Or if it's one of those cases where she just doesn't want to take medicine. Maybe that's why it's, anger and frustration and the bottle is tipped over.
Right.
Oh, Susan.
By her father. Oh, okay. Yeah. So
that's the anger.
Father wants to enter the U.S. Yeah. See, so that's where the father piece comes in. So it was her father that. Okay. Yeah.
So it feels to me, Susan, that she's snapping at you. You know that saying that we hurt the ones closest to us. That's it. Just feels to me like you're the outlet, and that is headed your direction. I do want to caution you and encourage you to be cautious. I mean, I don't. It doesn't feel like she's going to come at you with any intention to like really hurt you, but I feel like she's also very, very, very upset and like might make maybe accidentally hurt you, accidentally push you harder than she meant to, that kind of thing, yeah. I just want to encourage you to be loving and careful.
Yeah. I don't like to go there, and I can see your hesitation as well, Jeffrey, with that. But I do feel like I agree that there is a caution around that, where sometimes when you're that angry, things can happen. So I 100% be careful.
Father of her baby, not her father. She says thank you. Yeah, she moved out yesterday.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, everybody send a little extra love towards Susan and her daughter, her stepdaughter.
Yeah.
They need a little extra lift right now.
Yeah. And sometimes we have to love from afar and trust that spirit has a path for them and for you, and love from afar for a while.
Yeah. Yep. Love from afar.
Yeah, I'm sorry that she's going through this. It's not easy.
Okay, let's see. Mary Thrower. Hey, Mary. I hope you're still here. Are you still here, Mary? Mary says, does Spirit or my guides have anything for me?
Or my dad. Oh my
My
God.
dad.
Mary, was your dad a little bit of a comedian? I feel like when I tune in to you and I ask about your dad, I feel like I want to have like this big belly laugh, and does that make sense for you? So I feel like I want to have this big belly laugh. I feel like I have a sense of humor, and he may have been on the larger side, sort of later in his life, later on in years. I feel like almost like I could be Santa Claus sort of thing. And it could be
Brookmo 0v0.
Okay, Alexa. I don't know why Alexa is doing that. Let me shut this other computer off. So funny. But again, I always say when there's
I don't know that.
Oh, Alexa, be quiet. So funny. It's what happens when you're live, right?
So funny.
It is funny. So I feel like, so it's an exclamation point, right? Yeah, she wouldn't miss this. Okay, great. So Mary, was your dad, he was a happy guy? I feel like, again, I feel like I have a belly. I feel like sort of like I could be Santa Claus type where I'm laughing and I'm jolly and like to have a good time. And did he I don't did he smoke maybe in his earlier years, but then I don't know if he had emphysema or something with his throat later on. Did he have a problem with his throat? Because I'm picking up throat, and my breath is a little shallow. Does that make sense, Mary?
Come
Okay,
on,
so
Mary.
come on, Mary. Come on down. So and sometimes the throat also, when I pick that up, is because they couldn't express their feelings when they were here. So it could either be that he had an issue with his throat physically, or he wasn't able to express his feelings when he was here. So while we're waiting for Mary to answer, but typically when I get that, it's either one of those two. And I feel like that he did like little crafty things or something like that. She says, Alexa, Alexa was doing that today too. It's her dad playing with it because he loved Alexa. Well, there you go. He wasn't that wasn't big, but yes, funny. Okay, so I'm getting like the jolly. So again, it's what he smoked and had COP. Yeah. Okay, thank you, because I'm gutting the lungs. I'm having trouble breathing. I'm having trouble, speak. So maybe even towards the end, he was having trouble speaking and saying his words. Oh my God. But he thought you were the best thing since. It's funny. I don't know if he liked jelly for some reason, but he's going, she's the best thing since jelly was invented. So not peanut butter, not Wonder Bread, although he's laughing. He's saying she's the best thing since jelly was invented. And I don't know why I'm seeing a tractor. So I don't know if there's farming in the family history. If you grew up on a farm, but I'm seeing a tractor. And he sends you the biggest hug and the biggest love. And was he sort of younger when he passed away? I don't know why he's showing me the age of like 67, 68. That might have been when he was diagnosed or when he first started having problems. But he's really talkative now. So he's getting everything out that he maybe couldn't say towards the end, especially. And then, do you have a brother, Mary? I'm wondering, because he's talking about a brother. It could be his brother, or it could be your brother, but he's talking about a brother. And he says that something about your career or your job, not to worry, things come up right. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but he's saying, don't worry, things come up right. So whatever right now seems like there's change coming, or something is moving along or questionable, just trust. Your dad's got you on the other side. He said things come up right. I hope that makes sense.
Aw. I love that. It kind of makes sense with what I was seeing as well, because with you, Mary, I kept getting this visual of like almost like cherubs bouncing around you, like as if trying to get your attention in a very, very playful manner. And it makes me feel like I'm taking life, like I'm taking things so seriously right now. I feel like I'm taking things so seriously, and I'm having a hard time relaxing or being playful or finding that inner child within. You know what I'm saying? What is she saying? My son lives on a lot of land that was his baby. They have tractors. He always mentions a tractor. He was 58 past on Christmas Day at work. My heart hurts so bad. Oh,
Oh, Mary. Oh, I'm so sorry.
and she said, I just asked him to help me with a lot of financial stuff that came up. Okay, that's awesome. He is helping you. And now that's why I was getting this sense of like really taking life so seriously. I mean, it makes sense. Hello. So I really want to honor where you are in your grief and know that don't judge it. Just, there's no rule book when it comes to grief. But I also really want to encourage you to invite that inner child into the mix through this, to just to help remind you that your dad is as big-hearted, light-hearted, funny, and playful as he ever was, except times infinity more. You know what I'm saying? So he is there, cheerleading, nudging you, pulling any sort of, energetic nudges that he possibly can for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And he says, look for the tractors. They're going to be, that's all you're going to be seeing now is tractors everywhere. Because he's got, I don't know where the number 67 fits in. But again, he's reminding about the number 67. So, something significant around the number 67. I don't know if it has to do with your mom's age or I don't feel like you're 67. Could be a house number, but something around the number 67. I feel like is going to come up, but he is helping you for sure on the other side. And look for the tractors. You're going to be seeing them everywhere.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary. I hope that was helpful. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny. That Alexa doesn't say a word all day long. And now all of a sudden, isn't it interesting that her dad loved Alexa and here Alexa is. So it's for everybody out there. It's one of the things that Spirit has the easiest time playing with is electronics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, your people probably know that.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
Yeah, thank you. Our hearts are with you, honey.
Yeah, totally. Everybody send Mary a little bit extra love.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah. My dad had COPD too, so I understand I get it. Let's see. There's a lot here in the chat.
Yeah. And I just saw Kat, I haven't seen you here and oh, there you are. I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you for being here. Kat would love a message.
Awesome. Keith was really sweet. He put in the chat to make sure that everybody subscribes.
Oh,
hit the follow button and subscribe. Yeah. Definitely, for sure. All right, let's see. Kat Jesus. I'm not going to try to say the middle name. All right. What does Spirit want Kat to know? Let's see. Oh, Yang in protection. So Yang in protection is about not taking action. It's about taking a step back rather than moving in, it's about taking a step back. Sometimes when life is suction cupped on our face, it's hard to move forward through it, right? And so this card is really saying to you, take a step back. Now is not the time to push forward with whatever that is up in your life. Now is the time to breathe, take a step back, go for a walk, maybe, take off for the weekend if you can, whatever. But the way that you're going to get through whatever situation is coming up is not by pushing through it. It's by taking a step back and going off and doing something different. Hope that helps.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I want to, so Kat, there's this sense of, it feels work related. It feels like there's a shift taking place, and I feel this sense of like that pushing, like you were saying, and I just feel like that there is this direction that you're being nudged toward, that, or that you want, that you're hoping for, that it's like maybe not happening fast enough.
Mhm.
That it's like in the visual that I just keep getting, and it's like when we're what is that, Cynthia? That we're like, if we're in a raging river, they tell us to just chill out and let the river take us,
Yes.
rather than fight the current.
Yeah.
That's the visual that I keep seeing.
Yeah.
And it leads you to your own like blue lagoon. It feels like there's a real sense of exhale over this hump.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that the card that comes up for you at this moment is this divine guidance. Like, you are absolutely being guided through this. And it feels like too that once through this, Kat, it feels like there's a greater sense of, it feels more fun is what I want to say. And like, if work can ever be called fun, it feels like a greater sense of lightness, lightheartedness, joyful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I love it, is how I just love it. That's what I want to tell you. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. It's awesome. It's interesting. I've never had this come up before. At first I thought I was looking at, the kids, they have those ball pits they go in. And I thought at first it was like, oh, a kid's ball pit. And then I thought, no, I'm not looking at a kid's ball pit. I'm looking at the balls when they pick the lottery winners. And so I'm wondering if, and I'm not a gambler. I buy a lottery ticket once in a while, but I'm wondering, Kat, if you play the lottery, or if you've had a lottery win, or there's something about the luck of the draw. So whatever is going on for you, it's going to be the luck of the draw. And I feel like your number gets pulled. So, when Jeffrey had said about, he feels like it's around work, know that whatever happens, if your number gets pulled, it's the luck of the draw, but you turn out to be a winner. And you might want to buy a lottery ticket. I don't know.
She recently won at a slot machine.
Oh, there you go. Because I'm seeing the lottery win. That's great.
That's rich.
That is rich. That is rich. Thank you, Kat, for that confirmation.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is cool.
I'm gonna come over here to Instagram and see, like, I've got Terry Reese. Hi, Terry, sweetheart. I haven't seen her for a long time. Terry would like a message.
Okay, great.
So tap into Terry.
Do you want to go first? I feel like I'm.
Yeah, no. I love what you're.
Like I'm hogging.
Going on over there.
I feel like I'm hogging here.
Oh no, not at all.
What is Terry Reese? I see a lot of glitter and sparkles around Terry's energy.
Oh my God.
I don't know what Terry does or what Terry's personality is like, but I see a lot of sparkles. I see a lot of glitter. I feel like I'm sort of light and I'm spreading joy all over the place, right? So I feel like wherever I go, I'm trying to spread joy, and I'm like sprinkling fairy dust everywhere I go. Right. So let me just pull a card for Terry and see what does Spirit want Terry to know. Oh, the fates and protection. I looked at this deck because everything's coming up protection, and they are not all in protection. I just want everybody to know they are.
Protection means upside down, guys.
Protection means upside down, and it's not a bad thing when they're upside down. It's just it's like an extra hug from the universe. It's to know that you've got support on the other side, and that the universe is giving you a hug just to remind you that, hey, we got you, we're here for you. And protection upright it's about when difficult things happen in our lives, when painful things happen, know that we don't always understand the why, and that even the most difficult things, the most beautiful gifts can come out of it. When I shattered, I don't know if you know, Jeffrey, but I shattered my leg and ankle during COVID. And I remember my son coming one day and he said, "Mom, why do all these bad things happen to you? You're such a good person." And I said, honey, I don't know. But what I do know is everything that's been a challenge that has happened to me in my life has always turned out to be a blessing in the end, because it gives me more ability to help people who are going through the same things. And I know I said that earlier. So, trust that whatever situation that Spirit is referring to in this particular case, that it's out of your hands. Okay. That you can't control this situation. It's completely out of your hands. And know that you've got an extra hug from the universe. Let the fates go where the fates are going to go, and you keep spreading your joy and your fairy dust and your light around the world, because you have so much of it and so much to give. And so don't let any situation or other people stop you or bring you down from spreading that light, because your energy is just lovely. It's remarkable.
She is lovely. And Terry, I want to echo what Cynthia said, because it does feel like that there is a lot of shininess around you now. Terry's been going through a lot of healing. She lost her husband a while ago. She lost her son, one of my best friends, like 2017, whenever that was. So a while ago, but there's been a lot, right? And Terry, I just want to say that there's this sense of a lot of this healing that you've been working through, and I want to honor that. I want to respect that. And I need you to know, I need that to be acknowledged for you, because I know how hard it's been. And it was 7 years ago that Lucas passed. Yeah. But I also want to acknowledge in you, there's this sense of this feeling of like being more uplifted lately. Like you are really coming to a place within yourself where you are starting to come back to you after these difficulties and this grief and this pain. And there's this sense too that you are really able to, how do I want to word this? They keep showing you helping other people in ways that now over the last 7 years, like, because you've been through it as deeply as you have been. And I feel like that there's a new way of you being in service to others that is really also lifting you. It's like that, when we give, we receive. When we give, it like lifts us up. It's like that, Terry. It's like you giving yourself in this way that you are now is also lifting you up. And I also, Terry, I have to laugh about the fake flowers again. So I did a reading with Terry a couple years ago, and her son Lucas came through laughing, and he was acknowledging the fake flowers that were put at his marker, his grave, and Lucas was pretty particular. He liked nice things, and he was laughing about the fake flowers, So, and he was a big jokester and he was teasing. So, and I want to laugh about that.
Oh, that is so funny.
Again.
Yeah, we're I'm seeing like these white and yellow, like, I don't know if they were daffodils or daisies or something. It's like I almost want to feel like I went to the dollar store to get them, but I didn't go to the dollar store. But they're showing me that he's like handed me this bunch of flowers that are like dollar store.
That's what they used to be. Yeah, that's what they used to be. And that's why it was so hilarious. So, Terry, I just need you to know that laughter and that all of that is still very much around you and a part of you. And I know you know that, my dear. I know you know that. And she wrote, hold on. Yeah. Alex only brings him fresh flowers now. Awesome. So yeah, just know that they know that, and just remember that laughter, because it's all around you. And I do feel like, darling, I feel like you're feeling it, because you do feel lighter, and you do feel like you're able to help others in ways now, because you've been through it, that you might not have been able to in the past. I really hope that makes sense. I might have been having a hard time trying to explain it.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what the letter T is, but I keep seeing the letter T. I don't know what her son or her husband's name was, but
Tony. Her husband's name was Tony.
Okay, thank you, because it's like T T T T. So her husband is like, "Hey, pay attention." He's coming through, because he's show. That's how they'll come through for me often, is they'll show me the letter of their name. And Tony, I want to be like, "Hey, it's me, it's Tony. Can't you hear me?" Not that he had an accent, but he's really trying to get my attention, because I wasn't focused on him, and Jeffrey was speaking, and he's got your son. He's with you. I don't know. Did somebody smoke cigars or something? Because I feel like I smoke cigar, maybe, and I feel like I'm going to a ball game. I don't know why. I want to go to a ball game. I want to like smoke a cigar and have a glass of whiskey or something. And if it's not your husband, it could be your dad or something, because now they're all piling in. My room is starting to fill up. And he I don't know if Texas has if you have anything to do with Texas, or some connection with Texas, or that your husband, his life was as big as Texas, right? That that was sort of his personality, he was like as big as Texas. And I feel like that you didn't really sort of have, you took care of him. He's saying you took care of him to the last minute. And he wants to thank you for that, because I feel like he wasn't always the easiest guy to sort of please or get along with, or something. But he said you took care of him to the last minute. And he wants to thank you for that so much. He also wants to say that, and I don't know how long ago it was since he passed. He's not giving me that. But he wants to say that you're still living and you've got to live. So he's pushing you out the door to go start a new life.
Yes.
Right. He says, he said, you did everything that you could do, and you did so much for him. He's pushing you out the door now to go have a good life. He doesn't want you to stay in the place of sorrow or hard, thinking that you can't go out and live your life now because you've been through these difficult things. Losing a son and losing a husband is so difficult. But he wants you now to know that you've got to go out the door. You've got to get out. You've got to go live your life. You have to breathe and take life a little less seriously. And your son steps in. He's been here actually, but he has a little tear, and he I feel, I don't know if there was a car involved in his passing, but I feel like that he's sorry for something because he's got a little tear, and he says there was nothing you could do, Mom. There's nothing you could do. There was nothing you could do. And so I don't know that he's not giving me how he passed. I sometimes I do get that, but he's not showing me how he passed. Just that he's got the tear, and he says that there's nothing that you could do. And I feel like that a decision had to be made that was really difficult. But he said there was nothing you could do. It was time. So I hope that helps.
I can validate for you. And she writes too. She just planted yellow daffodils. She writes her granddaughter lives in Texas.
Okay, great.
So that makes a lot of sense. She says new baby in our lives, question mark. But
Yes.
yes, Tony did take care of. She did take care of Tony, and
Yes.
I could absolutely hear him for sure saying thank you for that, because she took really good care of him. Yeah. And yes, the same thing with Lucas. Yeah, there was nothing anybody could do.
Yeah, nothing. And for the new baby in the life, they say yes, 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 yes. And if she's not been married twice, they are saying she has 2 marriages on her chart.
Oh, well, Terry, I guess it's time to get out there.
Tony is pushing you out the door, honey.
God,
I hope that helps.
We'll leave you with their love, my dear.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, it's already 5:21. Holy smacks. How does time go so fast?
Well, I mean, even though, of course, we're working with people who have some big things in their lives going on, bringing light to it and trying to do it with joy, I think helps, and it makes the time go by so fast.
Yeah. I just love doing this. I love connecting with people this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything coming up that you'd like to talk about? Any events, courses, classes?
Well, I have a couple of things in the works. Nothing is finalized yet. My new podcast is coming out this week, the new season, which Jeffrey will be on soon. So look out for that. That is Boldly Authentic with Cynthia Fontaine. You can find that on all the usual podcast platforms. And we're going on YouTube this year.
Yay.
Yay. So we'll be on YouTube as well. And then I've just put a survey out to my mailing list to see sort of like, what do they want to see next? Because I've been studying, I totally went a new avenue in this last 7 or 8 months, and I've been studying AI.
Right.
Yeah. And I have so many people, in my world who do the work that we do, who are solopreneurs and are looking for ways to be able to do this work without having the ability to maybe hire a team. So I think one of the things that I'm going to put out is actually launch your business in 60 days. And so that's something that is in the works. And and it's for people who are just getting ready to launch, or maybe they want to look at their branding. So that's going to be coming out, and I'm kind of excited about that because it's something I haven't done in that way before. But it's hard. This business can be hard for people to figure out how to get your name out there, how to start building a following and building your list and really make a place in the world. And because when you want to help people, and I know if people are tuned in here, then they're tuned into the world of spirit. And so that's coming out. And then also my mastermind is going to be relaunched again soon, coming up in the next several months. So that's going to be happening. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us again.
Oh my gosh.
It's so much fun to hang out with you.
It's so much fun being with you. I don't know. We have this thing.
Yeah.
We have this thing, and I really appreciate you asking me to come back again. I had such a great time with you last week, and And I'm really happy to be here and to work with your audience and helping them in whatever ways I can. So thank you
Thank you.
again.
Thank you.
And we're gonna make it happen with you on my podcast.
Yes.
Promise.
Yes.
We've had a couple of things come up where we've had to reschedule taping.
Well, you know what? Spirit always has its timing. Always,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
I kind of have had to learn that one the hard way. Pushing,
Right.
kicking, screaming.
Right. Well, you had that crazy big storm.
Yes.
And then my uncle passed away, and we're going to record the day of his service. And so spirit has a way, like you said, and when we trust and follow the guidance, follow Spirit's lead, things definitely work out, even though it might not seem like that. We get freaked out going, oh my God, how many?
And surrender, surrender to what is.
Yeah. Totally. I feel like my guides are like, pull a card for closing.
All right, pull a card for closing, everybody.
Okay.
Here we go.
So let's see. We are closing, right? Are we?
Yeah, we're closing. Yep.
I could go all night. And I have been known to. All right. So let's see. Closing card. What does Spirit want to share with everybody, sort of as a thought to move forward with in the rest of this week? And they're actually saying interesting. They're saying this is actually for the months ahead, the months to come, and lean on the message as the months as in the coming months. They're saying, oh, interesting, don't overthink things. Think or in protection, again in protection. So it's about get out of your head and get into your heart. Ooh. Don't overthink things. All right. So because look, in the US, it's election year. Things are going to get crazy. They always do. Besides the normal crazy, we have an extra layer of crazy this year. So don't overthink things. Don't overthink things, that are going on in the world. Don't overthink things in your life. Come out of your head into your heart space, and that's where the magic happens. That's the best place to get clarity, to make decisions in your life, to move forward. Come out of your head into your heart. When your mind is too busy, when you're worried about things, you can't move forward or make a good decision. So remember, taking some deep breaths, feeling your feet on the ground, feel that contact. Take some really deep breaths in. And as you're breathing in, imagine that you're just bringing your energy down into your heart. And that will help calm anxiety. It'll help you with clarity, no matter what's going on in the world. That's a really quick and easy thing to do to bring you out of your head.
Brings you right into the present.
Yes.
Right into the present. Yeah. And yes, I love that. Not taking things so seriously, not overthinking. And remembering too, that inner child of yours, that inner child that gets shoved to the back room, so often and so easily, we forget to be playful.
Yeah.
We forget to bring that inner child forward and just be silly,
Yeah. Whatever it is. I always have bubbles around my house.
Okay, now that's fun.
I do. I always have. I have bubbles on the kitchen windowsill. I just bought this thing that makes the big bubbles, and so whatever it is that brings you out of the nonsense for a minute, right? All the things of life and adulting, what can bring you out of that and bring you into a joyful moment, into childhood, that's when you shake the energy up and real magic can happen. So, yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, get bubbles.
Yeah, get bubbles. You guys, one quick note about the Sedona event this October, Awakened, Immersed, Inspired. We're getting a really, really great feedback. It is filling up. Cynthia, you said from the start, it's going to sell out so fast. And
yes,
and it's selling out. We're at over 50% already, and it's been out for not even quite 4 weeks yet. So
Fantastic.
just an FYI, if you're interested, take a look at my website, jeffreypeck.com, go to the Sacred Retreats, and just, you know, if you know you can feel it. You can feel it if you know you're supposed to be there. Join us. It's going to be quite transformative and very healing. I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be quite one of those really life-changing, touching, you know, like when you cry from the joyfulness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the and it's starting to take on its own heartbeat. It's really amazing. So
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting because you know, the event will take on its own heartbeat.
Yeah.
It'll have its own energy and its own purpose, no matter what we plan. Right.
Yep.
The spirit will allow it when we allow it to come to life on its own and follow spirit's guidance. It does have its total own heartbeat. And you're going to be adding a second event not too long after.
Oh, I know. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're going to be adding a second event. And oh, so funny. So this card just fell out of the deck, and it was actually upright to the sea. So it's just, again, it's reiterating to take the oars out of the water and allow spirit to
flow,
guide your boat and let it flow, because it is going to flow. Oh my God, you are going to be on fire. You are going to be on fire. Yeah, really. And they're talking about so funny. They're talking about your outfit that you're going to wear, or outfits, and
me.
Yeah, you for the events. Yeah. You look pretty snazzy, I will say. So I don't know if you're thinking that far ahead. But they're saying have fun with your outfits.
Okay.
And really let your hair down. Have
fun, that's so
and
fun.
Let your hair down.
I got some stylists in spirit.
You do. Because you can be really fun. And I feel like that sometimes your clothes don't reflect that. Does that make sense?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So be a little bold, you know, get a print you might not normally wear,
All
or
right.
a flashy jacket, or, you know, some sequins, whatever. But
honey.
Yeah, some satin, velvet, whatever. They're like, snazz it up, boy.
All right.
Yeah, have some fun with it. They're saying really let you be you, that like you've never been before. Is that what they're saying?
I will do that. Thank you, my dear.
You're welcome. Thank you again so much for having me on. I love and appreciate you so much, and your audience.
You too, my dear. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us for this little, it's extra long. We went for an hour and a half tonight. Thank you for staying with us. All right, you guys, we'll see you again next Wednesday. Be with us for another live session.
Thank you, everyone.